The book of Exodus says, "Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year day by day continually. The one lamb thou shalt offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and with the one lamb a 10th deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of an hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, where I will meet you, to speak there unto thee." So, we see that Israel has been given instructions for continuous sacrifice, which was to be done in the tabernacle of the covenant, and later in the temple, continuously, every day in the morning and in the evening, as a permanent burnt offering. Hebrew word for this offering is Tamid, which means permanent, continuous sacrifice, that was to be performed infinitely long. We also see what the appointed sacrifices were: lamb, bread, and wine. From Jewish tradition, we know that the morning sacrifice in the temple was offered about the 3rd hour of the day, 9 o'clock in our reckoning, and the evening sacrifice about the 9th hour of the day, that is 3 p.m. in our time. St. Mark writes, "And it was the 3rd hour, and they crucified him." He writes further, "And at the 9th hour Jesus cried with a loud voice, saying, Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani. And Jesus cried with a loud voice, and gave up the ghost." We see, Jesus was crucified exactly at the time of the first sacrifice offering, and he dies right at the time of the second sacrifice offering. It is clear that Jesus, in this way, fulfills the law of continuous, permanent daily offering, and thus becomes our continuous, lasting offering. The offering that always stands before the face of the Lord, for his flesh is bread, his blood is wine, and he himself is the Lamb of the Lord who takes away the sins of the world. A type of this is also found in the book of Genesis, before Israel even existed. We read, "And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him, and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Most High God, which hath delivered thine enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all." God in another place for Jesus says, "Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek." We see that Melchizedek is also the type of Jesus, the priest of the Most High God, King of Salem, which means King of Peace. Melchizedek blesses Abraham, because the greater always blesses the lesser, and Abram, as to a high priest, gives him 1/10 of everything. Melchizedek, as the figure of Jesus, brings bread and wine before Abraham as Jesus did before us. Only Jesus brings the true meaning of this bread and wine, as well as the true meaning of the Old Testament Passover, unleavened bread, manna, bread of presence, and of course permanent sacrifice that we discussed here.